Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the second episode of the series I'm doing called Behind the Cover, where we take a behind-the-scenes look at the covers I make here on YouTube. And this episode is a behind-the-scenes look at my cover of Half Hoping by Hurd. I'll be sure to link it down below. Make sure to check that out. I'd really appreciate it. And if you could hit the subscribe button and make sure to like the video, that would really help me out. Also, I just want to shout out my socials real quick. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, that'll all be down below. Make sure to check those out for more content than what's just here on YouTube. All right, let's get into it. So the first thing I always do is record a scratch track once I figure out what song I'm doing, just to get the feel for the song and to get it into, I use Logic, so just to get it into Logic Pro, and from there I can just build on top of it. So first things first, record the scratch track.
Sober enough to know better, but I'm drunk enough to not care. I moved on enough.
Pretty simple, not too great. It's just to get the idea down. And then after that, I'll typically record the acoustic guitars. And so, just like I said in the last video, I always record my acoustic guitars twice, pan them left and right, and I record them with my Behringer B1 condenser microphone. And I use my Fender acoustic for this one. And let's check it out. So yeah, it's the same chord progression throughout the entire intro, verse, chorus. Everything's the same thing. So that made it pretty simple, so I just recorded that all the way through. Like I said, panned it left and right. And then after that, I'll typically move to the drums. Pretty simple drum beat in this one. So I'll always do kick and snare first. I'm not a drummer. I do all of it with my Akai MPK MIDI keyboard, and that's how I get all the drums for all my songs. So simple. But in the original, one thing I liked is they had claps in between the kick and the snare. And so I made sure to add those. So that's simple, and then came the hi-hats. And for the hi-hats, I recorded this simple pattern here. But I also, when I record my scratch track, I play to Logic's Auto Drummer just to make sure I'm in time. And I actually really liked the hi-hat pattern from the Auto Drummer. So what I did is I turned the Auto Drummer here. I turned that into MIDI data. And then from that, I copied and pasted the hi-hats into its own track there, because I just really like that for the intro and the chorus. And so after that, the drums all together sound like this. And then a lot of my covers on YouTube are only acoustic guitar, but every now and then, depending on the song, if I really want to record electric, I will. For this one, I did. So I use my Fender Telecaster up there. And I'll typically, most guitar tracks I'll record two. I'll switch something up in each guitar track, whether it's, I'll change the virtual amp or the pickup that I'm using just to give it a different tone, different feel, and I'll pan those left and right as well. And so this is just the electric guitar. I did add a third guitar track. This is just a clean tone on top of it all. It just kind of fills out the chorus and the intro here. Makes it really pop from the verses. And probably my favorite part of this song is the lead guitar. I am in no way a good electric guitar player, but I do my best. I stacked this one twice, panned it left and right, and I also added like a higher octave on top for the lead guitar part here, and it came out like this. And that high part is just in the back there. And it just mixes well with everything. That's the intro there. That's also very similar to the chorus. And so after the lead guitar, obviously came the lead vocal.
Sober enough to know better, but I'm drunk enough to not care.
And we'll get into all the effects later. I'll make sure to show you guys all those, like the reverb and delay and all that. So the verse just kind of, slims down. I take out the hi-hat pattern here and the claps. I just leave the simple drum pattern throughout the verse. Also the acoustic guitar. And then just a simple, clean electric guitar. I take out the distorted guitars for the verse, just leave those in the chorus. Just like I said, to make it pop even more. And then this little pre-chorus here, I switch up the drums just a little bit.
Wishing you could stay and wishing
all cut out, and then it's the stomp on the kick, and then the triple on the snare.
Wishing you could stay and wishing you come over, baby. You're the angel and the devil tugging on my shoulder. You could call
And I do add a crash in the beginning and throughout the chorus, obviously just to give it that power when you get in there. And I obviously add the bass as well. So this is the bass part, very simple. And then in the chorus, you also get the background vocals. I'm a huge fan of background vocals. And so here is the background vocals with the lead vocal.
You could call me up and say you're all alone. I'm half hoping you will, half hoping you won't. You could walk through the door with my door shirt on, half hoping.
I record all my vocals in my Behringer B1 condenser microphone that's actually behind me up here. I'll make sure to put up a picture or something. If you have any questions of like the setup, the gear I use, make sure to put them down below. I'll be glad to do a video like that. So the second verse is similar to the first verse. It's very stripped down.
Somewhere
Just to
between
keep that
the rhythms,
difference of the chorus and the
throwing
verse.
rocks at your window.
Pre-chorus is structured the same
Give me
with
some
drums.
mercy. If my phone would die, but it'd be a damn good time if it would ring tonight.
And so that chorus is similar. Probably my favorite part of the song is the bridge to the first part of the last chorus, because I tried to make it different, give it a little more dynamic.
Wishing you could stay.
So everything cuts out on the bridge, singles drums on the acoustic and electric guitars.
Shoulder, wishing I forget you, but happy I remember, baby. Wish I could just pick a side, but I'm right in the center.
And then I really wanted to switch up the final chorus and strip it down in the first half, keep it simple but different from the bridge. So what I did is a very aggressive strum mute type patterns. So as you can see here,
You could call me up and say you're all alone. I'm half hoping you will.
all the guitars are doing the same pattern here. I just think it adds a cool dynamic to that final chorus. And one thing I did sprinkle in is just an acoustic guitar plucking pattern I added here, right at the end. And that's just at the end of each chord there. And so all together in the mix.
You could call me up and say you're all alone. I'm half hoping you will, half hoping you won't. You can walk in the door with my door shirt on, half
So you
hoping.
can't really hear that plucking part, but it's hidden in there, and it just adds a nice little tone to it. And then from there, it goes back into the full chorus.
When you will, half hoping you won't kiss me like you used to kiss me. Wreck my head in my bed and then leave. Damned if you do, I'm damned if you don't. I'm half hoping you will, half hoping you won't.
And then I add that lead guitar back in the last chorus. I keep out the high part in the first half,
Yeah, I'm only half hoping you won't.
and then I added it in the second half. I'll solo those so you can hear them. So I don't put that high part in the first one. And so all the electric guitar tracks I record in my Fender Telecaster for this song. I record it direct line input into my PreSonus audio box, USB. It's a cheap interface you can get. And then I run it into Logic's virtual amps, which I'll show you right now. So I run it into the large blackface combo amp on Logic. You can see the settings there. And then for the drive guitars, I use the vintage drive pedal to give it that crunch kind of sound. For the lead guitar, I use the vintage, similar setup to the other guitars. I use the vintage drive, but I also add delay to it. You can see the delay settings there. I do that for both of the tracks that I pan left and right to give it that stereo effect. Everything I record, I add compression, EQ to. Similar to the last video, my guitar compression is there. The EQ is pretty much the same for all my acoustic guitar tracks. When it comes to vocals, these are my compression settings. Also, those are my EQ settings. Like I said, I'm pretty much a beginner when it comes to recording and producing. So I'm still learning. I still tweak things as I go along. These are my settings right now. They'll probably change at some point. And then I do add reverb. I believe I have 2 reverbs going on. Yeah, so I have 2 reverbs on the lead vocal and the background vocals. I have this medium sweet reverb here, and then I also have a plate reverb. It's the soft plate reverb. So I'll add more on the medium sweet, and then I'll just add a little bit of the plate reverb to give it that cool effect. I also add some tape delay. These are the settings here, and this is how it sounds with all those effects.
I'm sober enough to know better, but I'm drunk enough to not care.
I'm going to play the vocal with and without the reverb so you can see the difference there.
Wishing you come over, baby, you're the angel and the devil tugging on my shoulder.
So that's just the raw vocal, and then this is with all the effects back on.
Hoping you will, half hoping you won't. You could walk through the door with my door shirt on. Half
And then
hoping
in the mix,
hoping you will, half hoping you'll kiss me like you used to kiss me. Wreck my head in my bed and then me. Damned if you do.
and that's a little behind the scenes look on how I made my cover of Half Hoping by Ryan Hurd. If you guys liked it, make sure to click that like button. I would really appreciate it. Help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you could follow all my socials, they'll be linked down below. I would really appreciate that. And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe. Really trying to grow this channel, so it would mean the world to me if you could hit that like button and subscribe. And also comment down if you have any questions on things that you want me to cover in these videos. Any questions you guys have, make sure to comment them below. I'll be glad to answer them either in the comments or I'll make a video on it. Until next time though, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one.
You can walk through the door with my door shirt on, half hoping you will.